guys, John Ryan, and with me is...
Zachary Greenstein. Everyone here calls me Greeny.
Calls you Greeny, with the University of Pittsburgh Handball Club. Zach, thanks for... Greeny, thanks for taking some time. Tell me a little bit about yourself. How you got started playing handball, maybe what sports you played before, that sort of thing.
Yeah, well, started playing my freshman year. Like a lot of American handball players, I wasn't really aware of the sport until it was at the club fair at University of Pittsburgh. We got some really great guys with a really great culture around here, so I decided to sign up. They needed some lefties. Rest is history. I started played soccer and wrestling my whole life, so that kind of translated to the defensive side, I suppose. That's really all about me.
So, how long have you been playing now, then?
I want to say about 2.5 years, a little less than 2.5 years.
All right, so you're a junior?
Junior, yeah.
Junior? Oh, excellent. So you guys just played a big match here in the first division. You guys stepping up to the first division for the first time. Tell me how pool play went for you guys.
I mean, it was awesome. We ended up winning Division II last year, got the opportunity to play in Division I. Had a tough first game against West Point Gold. Lost by a few, came back here against UNC's A team. Some guys who we're huge fans of, so shout out UNC, and had a great battle. Ended up winning by 1 in the final moments.
Final moments. Have they figured out who's going to finish first in this group?
So it looks like we're all tied up at 1-1. It seems like based on goal differential and win-loss, it's going to be UNC. So it's good to know that we got a win over the team that's going first. Looks like we've got West Point Black Nats, so I'm super, super excited about that one. Really excited to have that opportunity against a team I hadn't gotten to play yet.
All right. So I know you played for Pitt now this is your third season.
It's my third season,
Third season. Guys won D2 last year. You also played for some other teams as well, like in open play. You know, Pitt's not going to tournaments. What are some of the other teams that you played for?
Yeah, well, I wanted to thank Mark Ortega first. He got me opportunity to play with LA, and that's how I got started. Went to Spokane for nationals. Went to Intercontinentals in New Jersey with them as well. Got the opportunity to play with Minnesota, with Khalil, my teammate, fantastic pivot, who is a U21 national team player now. And then now I'm going this summer with DC, which is where I was born and raised, playing with them a lot, going to Open Nationals this year with them. So all those clubs.
DC Diplomats?
Yep, DC Diplomats.
Little history.
Yeah.
I was involved with the startup of the club.
That's awesome.
24 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's good to see they're still playing, and it's good to see that you'll be wearing
some green and white.
Well, we never did decide on colors. I said, when we first started, I said, let's pick out some colors nobody else has. I moved to France, and they changed the scheme multiple times, I think.
You'd think red, white, and blue would kind of be a layup, but I guess not. I guess they changed that up.
Well, it is the Diplomats.
That's what I'm thinking. Okay, you know what? Fair enough.
I'm not sure what the colors would be. Maybe a UN flag or something.
Yeah.
So you really like handball. You're really into it.
I'm a big fan. Yeah. I mean,
talk a little bit about the culture. You talked a little bit about the culture of the team. And being involved in handball, what's that been like for you?
Honestly, for those who are looking for something to do in college, I could not recommend this enough. It's a fantastic relationship with everyone. You've got Dr. Handball JD hosting a podcast with the fantastic John Ryan. You've got every game we play essentially, UNC, OSU, they're all just people who want everyone to get better no matter who you play. It's a lot of smiles and a lot of fun, and there's some really good competition. Some of my best friends are from doing this, and every opportunity to go abroad I've gotten and plays with other teams has been through just fantastic people here, so I can't recommend it enough.
And you apparently now you're talking about going abroad to play next year.
Yes, sir.
How's that going to work? How did that come about? Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so in playing with LA, which as you've commented on before in the podcast, there were quite a few Europeans that came to the last Open Nationals and to Intercontinentals. I was lucky enough to be a part of some of those teams with LA and Mark Ortega, who brought me along. And in every opportunity I've gotten, I've been lucky enough to perform well and have a blast and I think make myself known on a stage beyond just America. And I got the opportunity with Mark to talk about playing in Europe next year, so I'm going to be playing for Volendam. Leaving August 1st this summer to do a semester abroad and hopefully more. Stay there for a lot longer, go back after. as I try to hopefully represent the nation eventually. That's the goal. So I'm going to get the opportunity to play some wing with them. So I'm very excited.
So you're saying it's a semester abroad? Does Pitt have a program, or you're just going to take some online courses?
Yeah.
How's that going to work?
So I'm a bit ahead on credits. I've been taking a few too many credits for essentially every semester. As soon as I started playing this sport, I was like, I wonder if there's a way I can do this more. And so I took a few more extra credits every semester. I'm close to graduating, so I told them I'm more than happy to come back in the future should I be able to be lucky enough to perform well there. So I'm taking a semester. I had to find a program that Pitt would approve, and then I have no essentially major essential courses left. So I'm going to graduate with an occupational therapy and psychology degree, and then I'll go over there. Hopefully, get to go back when my semester's done.
I didn't quite follow that.
Sorry.
So, are you graduating early?
So I'm a senior this next year. I only have a few credits left. I'm going to take a few classes at the University of Amsterdam while I'm there. And then I go back for my last semester at Pitt in the spring of 2026. And then I will hopefully go right back once I graduate.
I see. So fall semester in the Netherlands, playing with Volendam.
Yes, sir.
Come back and graduate. So you'll be back here at College National.
That's exactly what I did for a semester.
So I would suggest that practicing on a daily basis in a competitive environment. You're already a solid player.
Thank you, sir.
But honestly, you've never had much in terms of real coaching.
No, we've never had a coach. I have
any length of time, anyway.
Yes, sir. I've never had a coach before. So that's one of the things I'm most excited about, is to have someone who I can work with. I've been in contact with Volendam, asking for training programs and whatnot. I'm really excited to get some real coaching. I play back for the University of Pittsburgh, but I plan on going to play wing when I'm abroad and just honing in on that skill. So Khalil and I have been working with Glue when we can, and you're right about all those things. I'm going to make sure I get into an environment that I can play a lot and be ready.
You said you were working with who?
Khalil Leiden, the pivot.
And then you said something I didn't quite follow. You've been working with Khalil and then somebody else?
With some glue. I got
glue.
some glue, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I talk a little fast.
So again, for people who don't realize, playing with glue, resin, stickum, whatever you want to call it in the U.S. can be problematic. And it's going to be problematic for you when you go there the first few times you practice.
Yep.
It's comical sometimes to see. I was a defensive specialist, so I didn't touch the ball a lot. But honestly, like you get the loose ball, I was nervous just kind of flicking it to one of the backcourt players because I was afraid it was going to stick to me and go off crazy. Playing wing, it's really, really going to be important for you to get adjusted to that. So,
yes, sir.
Smart thinking to get ahead on that. But a lot of times, what happens, you're going to see things you've never seen before. You're going to get an opportunity for a lot of reps. It'll be interesting to see how you come back after a few months playing on a regular basis.
I'm very excited. Yeah, the opportunity to train every day and get better with people who have been playing their whole life is going to be really cool.
Will you practice with the first team?
So we're still discussing that now. Yeah. I have to build my school schedule around the practice, because most important to me is getting reps in. The classes I'm taking are not extraordinarily difficult. So I think my ideal plan is to practice with the first team, play with the second team until they feel like I'm ready. If I'm ready for the first, I know the wing for Volendam is fantastic on my side, so I'm hoping to learn from him, but we'll work that out later.
Yeah, and somebody that's going to be there for 6 months, it might be kind of... you're going to get a mess load of experience just practicing with them. And even if you're playing with the second league or whatever it is, Netherlands is not a huge club handball, but I watched quite a few of their first division team play when Mark was coaching, and a couple players for the U.S. were playing with them. Even at a lower level league, playing a whole match at the wing will be very, very beneficial to you. But awesome.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So you guys will play a quarterfinal match.
West Point Black, it seems.
That's tough.
It's gonna be. I'm excited. I know they're a fantastic team. They've got some great guys. I know Gary was in Bulgaria. That's very exciting. I was hoping to get the call for that, but he's fantastic, so I don't blame him. I'm really excited to match up against him, see how everything goes.
Yeah. Well, I guess the goal is the national team. We were kind of short on lefties. Now we're kind of getting stocked up a little bit.
No kidding.
I'm going to talk with Gary Phillips later this weekend. But there's always opportunity for a left-hander, which I think you probably figured that out already.
Yes, sir. Yeah. I think the chance for a lefty. I mean, when I signed up for the club, it's because I was signing up at this club sports fair at Pitt, and the guy saw me running with my left hand, brought me over to the table. So from the jump, lefties definitely get a unique experience.
So you come back, you graduate. You're going to kind of see how that 6 months go. Maybe go back to Europe. Is that what you're thinking?
That is the plan. I know Khalil, my teammate who I mentioned before. He's graduating the same year as me. He's graduating a year early. Our plan is to head back there the year after. So if anyone's interested in taking on 2 Americans and having some hard workers on the team, hit us up.
Well, I think that's a wonderful opportunity. The problem it can be, and maybe it's a little bit less of a problem now with connectivity the way it is being able to work on your handball career and your professional career. I'm not sure what your goals are in that area. You're young, you got some time to, for lack of a better term, goof off a little bit playing handball.
Yeah.
That might be how maybe your parents and other people forced to see it a little bit. But ideally, there ought to be opportunities that you can also work at the same time as you develop your handball game.
Yeah, to make money, that seems to have to be the plan, especially since we have both of us have been playing for basically less than 3 years. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. First, we got to get there.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing. I think sometimes European clubs, like how old are you now?
I'm 21.
21. And they see 21, they see the skill set, and they go like, well, that's not something I'm interested in. But then you have to explain to them, well, they're 15 or 16 in handball.
Yeah.
In handball experience.
Exactly.
And I think some clubs get that. I think some clubs don't. I think Volendam probably gets it a little bit better than others.
Yeah. You've touched on this a lot in your podcast. Actually, this is a great subject to talk about, is that I think we're starting to see a trend in the right direction. They brought some Americans to Bulgaria. But a lot of times it seems like since the Europeans are ready to go and ready to play now, we've got some incredibly athletic Americans, guys who, if you give us a year or two of the same training they've been getting their whole life, we could compete at that level. But I'm not sure people really want to see it through and give, because what if it doesn't work out? But to build a real culture in America around handball, you have to have guys who will take those chances on Americans.
Yeah, well, ideally, from my perspective, having watched for many years, I'd like to see our programs, and maybe Pitt is moving into that upper echelon. Obviously, you just beat Carolina. Is that I would assess that if you have a good handball program, on average, sometimes you'll have more, sometimes you'll have less. I think you're going to get a national team caliber player 1 out of every 4 or 5 years if you have a good program. And that player might pan out, that player might not. But there's somebody that the national team should take a look at, and there's somebody that they need to shift their mindset from a European-based American who's been playing a lot longer and go like, okay, what can this guy do in a good training environment for a year? This is it, and sometimes that is hard for people to see that different level.
For those of you who can't see, I am vigorously nodding my head in agreement. I know that we used to have training camps in Auburn. I know Mike King is doing a fantastic job. Told actually some of the representatives for the American selection process team to attend some American tournaments and scout out that talent, because if we can get, like you said, one guy from each team every few years, get him in camps, put him against people that are already at that level, the improvement would be drastic.
Well, and I think a lot of people don't realize it, but if you're looking at a statistical probability, if you're in terms of players of potential, we have in my opinion, a very unique situation unlikely to continue in terms of dual citizens growing up in Europe being high-quality players. It's for the men. It's almost off the charts in terms of how fortunate we have been to have so many good athletes playing handball. That is not going to be true forever. We don't know when that will change, but some generations it's not going to be as good. And I'm all for having those dual citizens play. But I'm hoping we get to the point where the percentage difference is a little bit different than what it is now, with predominantly being dual citizens.
I mean, as fantastic as those dual citizens are, if they were playing for their national team, they wouldn't be coming to ours, So if we can develop our own guys here with the level of athletes that we have here, if we can compete at that level with dual citizens and build a real program. I know Mike's working on a Charlotte headquarters for training camps. I mean, that is a vision that we should be working toward, and I think we are finally, which is awesome to see.
Well, all right. Great talking to you. Any last thoughts? Anything else?
I just want to say thank you for the opportunity. Super happy that Pitt Handball has come this far. And thank you to Mike Ortega, JD, Powell Keggs, and you, John Ryan. Thank you, man.
All right. Good luck with the rest of the tournament.
You as well. Thank you.